Have you ever looked at someone who seems disciplined, productive, put together, and thought, I want that, but where do I even start? We think change needs something dramatic, a big transformation, a new year, a fresh notebook, a new version of ourselves. But Atomic Habits says something quieter. Your life is built by the small choices you repeat without noticing. Today, we're diving into the tiny habits that silently decide who you will become. Imagine two planes taking off together. One shifts just 1 degree. At first, nothing changes. Hours later, one lands in Japan, the other in Korea. One tiny shift, a completely different destination. That's your life. James Clear puts numbers on it. Get 1% better every day for a year. You become 37 times better. Get 1% worse. You quietly slide into someone you don't recognize. The problem? 1% feels meaningless. 1 page, 5 minutes. 1 stretch. Real change doesn't feel powerful at the start. It feels invisible. So the question becomes, if tiny changes matter so much, why do they feel like they're doing nothing? You try. You show up, and your life looks exactly the same. That's the phase James Clear calls the plateau of latent potential. It's where all the work is happening under the surface. It's like heating an ice cube from 85 degrees Celsius to 1 degree Celsius. Nothing melts, not even a drop. But once the room hits 0 degrees Celsius, suddenly everything changes. That breakthrough wasn't created by the final push, but by the invisible ones before it. You weren't failing. You were accumulating potential. Now that we understand why progress often looks invisible at the beginning, how can we avoid quitting right before the breakthrough? Many people think the solution is set a bigger goal, but the book reveals over-focusing on goals may actually be the reason we fail. So what should we focus on instead? We've all been told, set a goal, chase it. But Atomic Habits says, goals don't create change. Systems do. Goals are the results you want. Systems are the processes that create them. Even if you ignore your goals completely, a strong system can still make you win. Imagine you're a basketball coach. Your goal is to win the championship. But if you stop staring at the trophy and focus only on daily drills, teamwork, its strategy, conditioning, mindset, in-game decisions, will your team still improve? Yes, massively. Because no one wins by watching the scoreboard. People win by playing well. A strong system works even if you ignore the goal. So why do goals often fail? Reason 1, everyone has the same goals. Winners and losers want the same thing. If goals were the key, everyone with the same goal would get the same result. But they don't. Why? Because the winners built a system. The losers didn't. Reason 2, goals give temporary change. You clean your room. Looks great for a week. But if your life system is still messy, no organization habits, no cleaning routine, no process. Give it 1 week, chaos returns. Goals fix the symptom. Systems fix the cause. Reason 3, goals delay happiness. When I hit X, then I'll be happy. So happiness is always delayed. But what happens after you hit the goal? You feel empty again because the reward disappeared. Systems are different. It let you enjoy the process now. There's a line I love from this book. When you fall in love with the process, you don't wait to feel proud. Reason 4, goals make you stop want to succeed. Lose weight, gain it back, finish the project, lose momentum. Because once the finish line disappears, so does the habit. But systems have no end. A person who builds a running system keeps running even after the marathon. So here's the truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Now the deeper question is, even with a good system, why do some people still struggle? What is the invisible identity inside us that keeps pulling us back? Because the deepest change isn't what you do, it's who you believe you are. Most people try to change from the outside. I want to lose weight. I want to be more productive. I want to stop smoking. But Atomic Habits reveals something counterintuitive. Behavior that conflicts with your identity will never last. Someone offers a cigarette. I'm trying to quit. versus I don't smoke. One is behavior, one is identity. Identity wins every time. Why? Because deep down, every human has a powerful psychological need. We must stay consistent with who we believe we are. If your identity is, I'm someone who loves comfort, you will always choose the sofa over the gym, even if your goal is health. If your identity is, I'm disorganized, you will sabotage routines, even if you buy planners or apps. Your old identity drags you back like a hidden weight. That's why people relapse. Not because they're weak, but because the identity didn't change. A simple story explains it. A man named Brian Clark had bitten his nails all his life. He tried everything. Nothing worked. Then he booked a manicure. For the first time, he saw his nails looking healthy. He felt proud, and pride rewrote his identity. He became someone who takes care of his hands. The habit vanished, not through willpower, but through identity. So how do you change identity? Step 1, decide the kind of person you want to be. Healthy, creative, organized, focused. Ask yourself, what would the person do? Identity creates direction. Step 2, prove it with small wins. A fruit a day, 1 paragraph, 2 minutes of meditation, 1 tidy corner. Identity is not something you declare, it's something you prove. Through repetition. Once your identity shifts, habits become obvious. Once you understand identity, you finally see why lasting change feels so hard. So the next question becomes, how do habits actually form? What mechanism turns an intentional action into an automatic one? Next, we'll break down the 4-step habit loop that runs your entire life. Every habit runs on 4 steps. Cue, craving, response, reward. Cue and craving are the problem. Response and reward are the solution. Bored, want entertainment. Scroll, feel stimulated. Stressed, want relief. Eat, feel calm. Lonely, want connection. Message someone, feel seen. Habits aren't random. They solve a problem, even if temporarily. Once you see the pattern behind your habits, you can finally do something about them. If you want to build a good habit, fix the cue and craving. If you want to break a bad habit, disrupt the response and reward. Now that we know the 4-step loop behind every habit, how can we use this knowledge to design habits that stick and remove habits that destroy us? This is where the 4 laws come in. Let's start with the first, how to make good habits impossible to ignore. Law 1, make it obvious. If you make the cues for good habits impossible to miss and make the cues for bad habits disappear. There are 3 practical ways to do this. First, give your habit a clear time and place. Not I want to exercise more, but I will stretch for 1 minute right after I wake up in my bedroom. Second, attach the new habit to something you already do. After I make my coffee, I read 1 page. Your existing routine becomes the trigger. And third, design your environment so the right habit becomes the easiest one to start. If you want to read more, leave the book on your pillow. If you want to eat more fruit, put it on the table instead of hiding it in the fridge. Your environment is stronger than your motivation. But making a habit obvious is only step 1. What if the habit itself still feels boring, painful, or unattractive? The second law shows how to make good habits feel naturally desirable. Law 2, make it attractive. We stick to habits that feel rewarding, and we avoid habits that feel dull or painful. The question becomes, how can we make good habits feel as tempting as the bad ones? One powerful method is to pair something you enjoy with something you need. Watch your show only while cycling. Drink your favorite latte while reading. Clean the house with your favorite playlist. Another way to increase attraction is through people. Surround yourself with people who already live the way you want. Humans copy the behavior of the groups they belong to. If the people around you work out, staying healthy becomes normal, not a struggle. Environment is not just physical, it is social. Still, even if a habit looks attractive, you won't do it if it feels difficult. How to make habits effortless? To start, so you don't rely on motivation anymore? This is where the third law steps in. Make it easy. Humans are wired to conserve energy. We naturally choose whatever requires the least effort, not because we're lazy, but because our brain evolved to survive, not to optimize. So your job isn't to become more disciplined. Your job is to reduce friction, lay out your gym clothes, leave your journal open, put water everywhere, prepare your environment in advance. Tonight decides tomorrow, and then comes one of the most powerful tools in the entire book, the 2-minute rule. Shrink the habit to something that takes 2 minutes or less. Read 1 page, write 1 sentence, put on your running shoes. The hardest step is not minutes 1 to 30. It's 0 to 1. By now, habits are obvious, attractive, and easy. Sounds perfect, right? But one final piece is missing. How do we ensure the habit stays, instead of fading away after a week? That's where the 4th law comes in. Make it satisfying. Even if a habit is obvious, attractive, and easy, you won't repeat it unless it feels rewarding. Our brain craves feedback. Track your habits, mark the calendar, protect the streak. Give yourself tiny rewards that match your identity. A few dollars into your dream fund after saving, tea after deep focus. To break a bad habit, flip it. Make it immediately unpleasant. Tell a friend your rule, and if you break it, you owe them something. Add consequences you genuinely want to avoid. Now we've uncovered the 4 laws that make good habits rise and bad habits fade. But life is messy, and you will slip. So what do you do when the streak breaks? Being human means you will mess up. You will miss a day. But the golden rule is this: never miss twice. Missing once is life. Missing twice becomes the new habit. Too tired for the gym today? Fine, rest. But tomorrow, even 5 minutes counts. Your bad days matter more than your good days because they protect your identity. Even on your worst day, you showed up. That's recovery, and that's what keeps habits alive. Now that you've learned how to recover when you slip, there's one final question. Once your habits are stable, how do you continue improving instead of plateauing? So here's the truth. You don't need motivation. You need repetition. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. You don't need transformation. You need one quiet 1% every day. Small habits don't feel powerful, but they reshape your identity, your confidence, your relationships, your future. Who you are becoming is hidden inside the tiny choices you make. When no one sees you, pick one small habit, one vote for the person you want to be. Start today, because small habits don't stay small. They compound, they expand, they transform. That is the real power of atomic habits.